Okay, so I started recording. So let me share my screen. Let me look for that material. I found our material again. Where are we? Where were we? Where were we? Where are we? Where did we stop in the last class? I beg. Okay. People don't tell me, man. I know.
Hello, sir. No, we solved question 1. Then you gave the assignment of question 2.
I'm trying to get that person that just spoke to me now. Okay, so I'm trying to open our materials up. Oh, Jesus, I forgot. I don't think I sent this working note. Nobody asked. I've even forgotten. Totally forgotten. I think one person asked himself. No, don't forget. Please, after this class, please remind me to send this working note, alright? Please, can everyone see my screen? Yes. Miss Anifo, Latifat, what do you want to ask me now? I've been asking you since. Your hand is up. If you're not asking me anything, please put your hand down, please. Thank you. Please, can everyone see my screen? Yes.
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir.
I'm not seeing your screen. Let me log out.
Network.
Let me log out.
I'm sure it's from your hand. So let's get started. Before I start, let me use 5 minutes to say something to you guys that I've always said. You people will say my own is too much. I know some of you be like, this guy's own is too much. He just talks too much. He likes to talk. I don't like to talk. I just like to say things as they are, and I like to see my students pass. That is my joy. That is what will justify whatever I'm doing here. That's what makes me proud. I beg you people should read. You understand your English, please read. If you understand Pidgin, I beg read. If you understand Yoruba, Ejo Kawe. If you understand Igbo, I don't know what it is. And if you understand Hausa, I don't know what it is too. Please read. That is what I'm just trying to say. Like, there's no two ways about it. You guys are in profession. I'm not supposed to be saying this to you guys, but I will still say it. I know most of us are working. It is always very hard when you're working and you're writing. I can believe me, it is always very hard because when you come back in the night, you are very, very tired. It is in this class that we're having class, and one man, he forgot to unmute his mic and he was practically snoring. That day, I did not get angry at all because I can understand what is going through. Coming, attending class, trying to study, wife and children are there. People like us are not married like this. We are enjoying wife and children and all those things. I understand how difficult it can be. But believe me, failing ICANN is much more difficult than all those things because you have to wait another 5 months of your life absolutely doing nothing. You have to wait again. So, and all those things will still, either you're writing ICANN or you're not writing ICANN. It is what do we used to call it in investment appraisal? It is an irrelevant cash flow. Because either you're writing ICANN or you are not writing ICANN. If you are married, you still go through family-ish. You would still feed your wife, you still feed your children, and you still go through stress from work. So either you write ICANN or you don't. So they are irrelevant cash flows. But the only relevant one is passing. That's the only thing. That's the only one I know. So I beg, and there's no two ways about it. You need to read. You need to solve pathfinders. Solve pathfinders, read. Miss Messi, Miss Danjuma Messi. I'm seeing you in my class today. Glory be to Almighty God.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma. So I beg you should read
I've
question.
missed you.
I've missed you too, madam. Missed you very much. So you should solve questions, read and what else? And pass. And come and give testimony in my DM when you pass. Thank you very much. Apparently, that is all that gives all of us joy. Okay, all this being said, my motivational talk. I don't really have much motivation to do today, but I feel like at this point, you should know where you are. Are you writing this exam or you are not? Don't deceive yourself. At this point, you should be able to make that decision. If the exam is tomorrow, will you write and pass? If the exam is tomorrow, can you attempt a question? If the exam is next tomorrow, how many questions can you attempt? If I can say, okay, we are changing date, exam is next week. What part? I'm sure 80% or 70% of you will fall in, I am dead. But how many percent of you would fall in, okay, I think I can still struggle, I can still try. Please, let's read. SFM is difficult, but it's still very easy to pass. How is it very easy to pass? Like I always tell you, the topics are not that much. So they have area of concentration. If it was PM, I would not be here. I would not say these things because I feel like PM is the topics are very much. So it's very difficult for you to predict where the questions are coming from. Very difficult. But SFM, the topics are not that much. So believe me, you can even cover all. You don't need to know all of them, but know the basics of how to answer all of them. If you see MPV question, know where to start from. If you see edging question, know where to start from. If you see a bond valuation question, know that you can write something. That is what I'm simply telling you. Just know how to. I've explained this thing before. First problem of ICANN is knowing the topic that you are being asked. If you know the topic, you have solved one problem. Knowing where to start from, you have solved another problem. And those two problems, believe me, if you have removed those two problems from your problems, you are practically a little bit. I'm just trying to wait for people more to join the class because I'm solving a very big investment appraisal question today. So I don't want. I've been seeing a lot of drawbacks. So I'm just trying to wait on a few more people. So maybe when we get to 50 or 45, I will just continue. So like I was saying, knowing where to start from. If you've written this paper before, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. You see a SFM question and you don't know what to do. You don't even understand. But like, believe me, those questions that you are seeing and you don't understand as a result of you have not practiced enough. So you have not seen a related question like that before. But if you've seen a question like that, either from Pathfinder, from anywhere, I'm sure you can use the same tactics that you used in solving that previous one to solve this one also. That's why I always encourage you guys to lay your hands on any question. Don't say, I cannot solve it. As you are saying, I cannot solve it. As you are saying, I cannot solve it. Put pen to paper. Get stalked. That's the fun of SFM. Get stalked. Manipulate. Do magu. Then go and choose somebody that you feel like knows better. God have mercy. I don't answer Mr. Bola's question. I just remembered now. Get stalked and show somebody that you feel like can solve your problem. Then from there you can know where to go. So that is the fun of SFM. That is just the fun of it. Get stalked, make mistakes. That is how you can easily triumph in this paper. If you are getting to the exam and you are seeing these questions for the first time, believe me, it's not going to help you. It is never going to help you. You have already shot yourself in the leg. So solve questions, get stalked, make a mistake, and just look for a way to just get more questions on your hand. Most of you have access to big textbooks. Get questions, pick a topic, solve about 5, 6, 7 questions on the topic. I'm sure you get one that you don't know, you don't understand. Solve it. Look for a way. Send it to ChatGPT. Most of you are using AI now. Send it to anything you know. At least get a brief idea of what you are trying to do. Just solve. That is my problem. And let me say this to most of you. I'm sure most of you are guilty of this. I'm trying to wait for people. We are 4 more to go to 50, then I'll start. I'm sure most of you are guilty of this. Eye contact. Oh, Jesus is Lord. That is what most of you do. I've noticed that is why most people fail SFM. So when you pick a question, and either Pathfinder, you just look at it with your eye. I call it eye contact. You just, okay, this is what they did. Okay. You've known it. You close the book and you move on. Well done. A round of applause for you. You are doing yourself. That eye contact thing is not going to work. Let me tell you a trick so that you know that your eye contact thing is not going to work. See that question that you use eye contact to look, that you say, okay, this is investment appraisal, okay, they've done the MPV, okay, they subtracted this, okay. That question, close the solution. Now carry that question, carry pen, carry calculator, solve that question again. If you get that same thing, if you get that question, come to my DM, I will transfer money to you. And you are saying it correctly. Like you just look don't go and look for one a very complex question. And you look at it with your eye contact and you close the question, you close the solution, and you carry pen and paper and you solved and you did not get stuck. You did not make any mistake. You just solve it accordingly. Come to my DM, I'll transfer money to you. I don't know the amount, but come to my DM, I'll transfer money to you. That is how sure I am that eye contact does not work. You see that question that you've looked at, close it, then solve. You will make mistake. That is how SFM works. There's a part there that you don't know that this is what they did, and you will not know until you put pen to paper. So apparently what I'm telling you is don't do eye contact. Those questions, carry pen, carry calculator, carry paper. It can just be any rough paper. If people used to steal papers from your offices now, you used to print case study present. You know what you do. So just those papers, just solve. I beg. Let's have this exam once and for all, and let's pass. I know people have written SFM uncountable times. Please don't let us be part of them. Immediately you start writing SFM 2-3 times, it becomes a challenge to you. And any diet like this, you just get scared and you don't feel the vibe to really perform, to really prepare for it, because you feel like, what are they going to tell you that you've not heard before? So that is where most of the challenges come from. So please, let's do right and make ourselves proud first. Because when you chatter, before you remember when Mr. Ola or Mr. Tope or Mr. Idris, you first say, I did it. If some of you say God did it, they say I did it. I passed. You not say Mr. Ola anything. I passed. Before some of you now come to say thank you. So please, let's make ourselves proud. Let's make our lecturers proud, and let's make the center proud. And God will help all of you. Inshallah. I don't know. God will help all of us in Jesus' name. Amen. In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen. Now let's get to international investment appraisal. So like I promised you guys, I said that once I give an assignment and a lot of you attempt it, I'll come to class and I'll correct or I'll solve it. Apparently time is against us, so I cannot really solve that assignment I gave, but a lot of you attempted it, and thank you very much for attempting that question. So I saw where you guys are not, so I saw where most of you or where some of you got stopped on the question. And I saw where some of you cooked. Hey, I saw some cooking. When I said cook, I did not say cook food that does not have salt. I did not say you should cook food that does not have Maggi. When I say cook where, if you know sweet, small, but at least it should not be tasteless. I beg. I saw some cookies. I'm like, no be me teach you this one. It's not me. But I saw some cookies that you do not understand what you were supposed to do, but I still saw some make sense mago that you did. And some people really got the basics. So, but I will still explain where most students got it wrong. Then most of you will not go and attempt it. And I'll solve a question today. So you practically have to I think nobody actually got it directly. Nobody got it totally. Let me just say it like that. So that means you guys will later have to assignment to go and do. And by the grace of God, this week, next week, I should be done with you. Next week, highest. I should leave you to God's hand next week by the grace of God. So let me see if I can what should I do? Okay, so let me just explain where most of you got it wrong in the next 10-15 minutes so I can solve my I have a bulky question today. So let me just explain where most students got the assignment wrong. I will just do a little bit of explanation and then most of you you're going to attempt it again. So I think it's this question too, yeah? Tinubu PLC. So it's saying Tinubu PLC is a UK-based company. It is considering a 3-year project in Fashakin. The project will require an initial investment of 81 million. I don't know what that currency is, Fashakanite or Fashikinite, anything you want to call it, Farite, Fasha, anything. It's 1 million F and will have a residual value of 10 million F. The project protects net inflow expected to be year 1, year 2, year 3, 35, 80, 50. All figures attached correctly. He now said the UK parent company will charge the overseas project with 2 million of management charges each. Current spot rate is 5 F to 1 pound. The UK inflation is expected to be 4% annum, and Fashakin's inflation is expected to be 7% Okay, let's dissect this question one by one from okay. So what's our initial investment in this question? Please, real quick.
81.
81. Our residual value is 10 million. We have a management fee of 2 million. So okay, so anybody that was in my last class, immediately you saw this UK inflation and Fashakin's inflation, what comes to your mind? We are
PPP.
Purchasing power parity theorem. So that means that when you are trying to do your exchange rate, you are using purchasing power parity theorem. Good. In the assignment, I see some people doing strengthening, weakening. Please, like I said, don't limit yourself. It is depending on the question. Don't say this is what Mr. Ola said. This is how I will continue doing it. Please, depending on the question. This question never mentioned anything about any currency strengthening or any currency weakening. So you don't have to do all those things that some people did. So he already gave you inflation, so you should know that you do your purchasing power parity to predict your future currency. Good. He told you Fashakin tax is 20% and it's paid immediately. Any losses, please, ICANN people are very funny. If you've answered many questions, you should know what they are trying to do. They're already giving you a hint that any losses are carried forward and netted off in the first available profit for tax purpose. For you to have seen this clause, something should have been ringing in your head that there would definitely be a loss. This particular tag it has like a 20% chance of being there and there will not be loss. So for you to have seen this, please hold on, anybody that's listening up their hand. For you to have seen this tag, it should give you something that, okay, we are going to have something like a loss in the question. Good. He also now says that tax allowable depreciation would be granted on a straight line basis, and any residual value would be taxable at 20%. Good. UK tax is 30% and it's payable 1 year in arrears. When you're saying UK tax is 30%, what is that telling you? Yeah.
Meaning they are going to pay extra tax. They are going to pay extra tax.
It means there's additional tax of how many percent? 10% in UK.
10%. Yeah.
Good. And that one will be payable 1 year in arrears. Good. And he gave you PLC undertook a similar risk project in the UK and used 11% as suitable discount. Where most of you got it wrong, there are 2 places. Okay, let me just say 3 places particularly. The first place most people got it wrong is this management fees. And second place most people got it wrong is this tax. And third place was with the residual value. Good. Let me first talk about the management fees. Apparently, the way management fees, I explained transfer pricing to us in the first class when I was doing introduction. I said that transfer pricing does not necessarily have to be sales of goods. And I explained, I said, when one company sells to another, to one company is a sales, to another company is a cost. So apparently, I said it does not necessarily have to be with sales of goods. It can be with management fees or royalties. So once a company pays another company management fees or pay royalties, so a company is an expense. To the other is a what? Is an income. If I pay, okay, I have a company in UK. If I pay royalty to that company, to me is an expense. I will expense it. So that company is an income. That is just the way it is. So the management, I saw most of you just manipulating the management fees, which is fine because we've not had a question that has gone in that line. So what I was expecting, what you should have done in that management fees is you first convert it. I think the management fees was in pound. So you first convert it to maybe Fahrenheit or Fashakanite or this F currency using the exchange rate. And I think, okay, let me ask a question to the class again. Looking at this spot rate, please let's keep muted if you are not talking to me, please. Let's look at this exchange rate. Which one is the counter currency? Which one is the base currency?
Base currency is
Base
the
currency
pound.
is the euro.
The euro, the pound, and the counter currency is the what? Is the F currency. Good. So now what this means is you are trying to convert, because this management fee is in pound now. So when you are doing you first do the Fahrenheit cash flow now before converting. To anybody that attempted the assignment to know what I'm saying. So you first do the Fahrenheit or F cash flow before converting to pound. So when you're doing the Fahrenheit, that's when you first treat this management fee. So what I'm telling you is this management fees needs to be converted first to Fahrenheit or F currency. So automatically means you are converting to what? It means you are converting to a counter currency, Abi. And when you convert to counter currency, what do? You multiply. So So automatically, when you're doing that management fee, you should have multiplied this by your exchange rate. Exchange rate which you would have gotten using the purchasing power parity. So you'd have multiplied it, but it would have been an expense to them because they are the one paying the company. I don't know if anybody's understanding what I'm saying. The UK, let's read it again. They said the UK parent company will charge the overseas project with 2 million naira of management charges each. They will charge them. So it's an income to the UK company, but it's an expense to the Fashakin country. So that Fashakin country would be an expense to them. So you'd have multiplied it by the exchange rate and you have gotten the management fee. So the other leg of the management fee is that when you now get to your own company, which is UK, it will be an income to you, which is going to be 2 million. You don't need to convert again. So it'll just be 2 million, but it will be an income. But the only thing is, this 2 million naira will now be taxed. You know, I told you that the sole purpose of a finance officer trying to avoid that transfer pricing is they were trying to avoid tax in the two places normally. That is the whole purpose of transfer pricing. So you just need to tax in once. Please, if you are not in the first class, please watch the first class video. I explain all these things there. I said that the sole purpose of this transfer pricing is to avoid tax in the two places. So they will just pay tax in one country. That is just the sole purpose of this transfer pricing. So the country where it is an income, you will pay the tax there. That is what it is usually. The country that is receiving this as an income, you will pay the tax there. So which company is receiving this 2 million as an income?
The UK company.
UK.
So you charge this 2 million based on 30% of their 2 million naira. That is how to treat the management fees. That is done. The second one, which is one of the most complicated, is the tax. What am I saying? The tax savings, the tax part. That is one of the places where you guys would have got it wrong. So let me explain to you. So anybody that did my assignments correctly, please. What was your coming on before I explain? Let me ask a question. What was your okay, I don't know. Okay, most people did not get the management fees correctly, anyways. But if you got management fees correct, what was your profit before tax? Anybody that did the assignment and got it correctly? What was your profit before tax? Let me explain something.
Let me check my own. I almost did it.
You almost did it. You almost did it.
My profit before tax is for the first year 24.72.
I think you are right. So please hold on. Let me explain something. Please hold on. Let me write. So you say year 0. This one I'm doing it like this because you guys attempted the assignment. If not, I will leave them to you. But a lot of people attempted the assignment. Although I know I did not reply on time. And let me explain to some people. So I saw some people coming to challenge me in my DM that I don't review assignments, and that's a lie. The thing is, how many people do we have on those group chats? If you don't know, we have about 4 Apex group chats, each of them more than 1,000 students. The list that we have is 900 students. Although this might be looking small in our classes, due to maybe traffic, so most people don't maybe join the classes. But believe me, they watch the videos on YouTube and they do the assignment and they send. So imagine the amount of assignment I will be getting. So it's not always composed, it's not always convenient for me because I obviously lecture in other centers, to physical center plus work and other things, to view these assignments one by one. So what I always do is I always pick a day that is convenient for me, that will view all the assignments. It might not be convenient for you, and which is not my objective. Is not what when it's convenient, I will view all of them at once. That's why I always take time. Everybody that submitted us, apart from Miss Agbola, if you're in this class, I'm very sorry. I just remembered today. And it was because our own question comprised of another particular topic. So I wanted to answer her separately. But anybody that submitted assignments to me, I'm sure I commented on it. So I always want to, and I think I did that today. So I always like to view all my assignments together at a particular period of time. That is when it's comfortable for me. So that is why I always take time. I'm very sorry. So profits before tax. Oh yeah, so year 0 is what? Do you have year 0? No. So year 1 was what?
24.72.
24.72 year 2.
69.42.
What?
69.42.
Year 3.
39.12.
39.12. Last year we don't have anything now, do we?
No.
So now let me show you how you'd have. I'll just show you how to work the tax, so then you go and pick it up from there. So what you would have done for that tax is you will calculate your so this profit before tax now. So you subtract your capital allowance from. I'm expecting a very smart question in this particular point, but let me see first. So what you will do here is you will do your capital allowance. So you subtract your capital allowance from this your profit before tax to now get your taxable profit. So what was our capital allowance? To get our capital allowance now, how do we get our capital allowance? We always say cost minus residual value. I'm spending more time on residual value divided by number of years. Abi?
Yes.
Good. So in this question, we have cost, we have residual value, and we have number of years, don't we? Don't
Yes.
we?
Yes.
But there is a terminology to the question. There's a comma to the question. As I always say that you guys should attempt question. So once you have seen this kind of question before, when you get to exam hall, you will know what to do. The question was saying something like, let me open it and read that part to you guys. I'm coming on. I'm trying to look for it. Is this complete? It is incomplete. I don't think I copied this question correctly. But anyways, because I know I've attempted this question before one time, but I don't think I copied it correctly. I think that was last night. I think I did this question last night, but I don't think I copied it correctly. But anyways, let's continue. Trying to see. Okay, but let's continue, Sha. Anyways, so apparently, this is what you would have done on a normal day. So you'd have done your cost, which is what was our cost in the question, please? What was our cost?
81 million.
So what you would have done is you would have done 81 million minus 10. Abi was
Yes.
our residual value not 10?
Yes.
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 10.
Then divided by what?
3.
Then divided by 3. That's what you would have done. But the
But
problem is, what did you do?
81 by 3 only.
Why did you do 81 by 3, sir?
Because of that clause that they said where they said allowable depreciation will be granted on a straight line basis, and any residual value will be taxable. It means the residual value will come and tax it separately.
Oh, I was looking for that clause now and I did not see it.
Is last paragraph.
Okay, I've seen it. Sorry, I've seen. That's what I was looking for. I'm listening to your explanation, sir. And any residual value will be taxable at 20%. What does that have to do?
So I just did the 81 by 3. That is the initial cash flow all over number of years. Then the scrap value, I come and tax the 20% on it. That is 20% of the 10 million, and I got 2 million on it. Tax on scrap value.
The analysis is correct, but I need you to understand what you are doing.
Okay.
It's not saying, but the way you say it, I don't think that would have been a guesswork. It's not a guesswork. So I think you know, but like maybe you don't know the basics. Let me explain something to you. When you do capital allowance, why do we do capital allowance? We do capital allowance because we want to reduce, because we want to do like a tax savings.
Yes.
So it means that the capital allowance we are doing is not like particularly being charged to tax. I don't even making sense. What I'm saying is, you do capital allowance to reduce tax now. So apparently your capital allowance is obviously not taxed again now. I don't want to speak Yoruba. Some of us here don't understand Yoruba. If our tax is 1 million, if you do capital allowance and your capital allowance is 200,000, you use the capital allowance to reduce the tax. Is it possible?
Yes.
Of course.
For the capital allowance to be taxed again?
Yes.
Yes,
We
sir.
can.
Exactly.
Yes.
So exactly what I'm saying is that so that capital allowance, immediately you see that capital allowance is now taxed, or any part of the capital allowance is taxed, automatically means that you should ignore it. So now you should have done cost minus residual value over a number of years. But now they are telling you that their residual value has been taxed, that it will be taxed by 20%. If residual value is going to be taxed by 20%, why do I need to now impute it in my capital allowance again? So now go and reduce my tax, something that has been taxed. Are you meeting me? Abi, you've stopped.
Yes, I am.
Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. So once you see a question like this that they tell you whether their residual value has been taxed, and it is a residual value that you need to compute capital allowance, automatically means that ignore the residual value. Says what? So, but you still take account for the residual value. Like I don't know. I think Mr. That like what he said. You still take account for the residual value, but you take account for the residual value later at the end, like when you are after you've done the whole conversion back to pounds. You will now take account of the residual value. That's when you take account of the residual value. But for now, you ignore the residual value. So, like he said, you will now do 81 million. So, but sir, did you submit your assignment to me? I don't think you did, because I don't think anybody did this.
No, sir, I submitted a wrong one. Then I told you that I attempted the question yesterday. Then I submitted this night, I think. You say you will check it after the class.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know about this. So, 81 divided by 3 is what, please?
Oh yeah.
27.
So 27. So apparently now your what? So apparently your capital allowance is now 27. So if you come here, so you now come here and say capital allowance. So you say year one, 27.0, year two, 27.0, year three, 27.0. So you now come here. Please let me do the I'm just trying to, please, anybody should please be right. I'll clean this part. So please, if you want to jot, please jot, because I will move it. So what's not going to be our taxable profit now? We have calculators. So what's our taxable profit for year one? You are subtracting this capital allowance from it, though.
2.28.
So automatically now, can you see that we already have a loss the way you are even looking at it? So automatically you know that you justify the question, because the question of just told you that you would have a loss that you cannot carry forward. That you carry forward. So you now say you have what? 2.28. Yet what do I have? We have yet what do I have?
42.42.
42.42.
Yet 3 encore.
12.12.
12.12. Now, okay, now. So you're now going to start charging your tax. What's our tax?
20%.
20%.
So, but now they told you that tax of year one, they told you that any loss you have should be carried forward. So automatically means that year one now we have a loss, you cannot charge a tax on it. So that's this. Then you now come to year two now. So what's our tax? So this loss of year one, you will need to write it off at year two. Don't sleep. So this loss now, you need to write it off at year two. So you come to this year two, you do 42.42 minus, you need to first write this 2.28 off. So that's 42.42 minus 2.28, whatever you have. You now
40.14. Yes, sir.
I'll charge this your 20% tax on it. So yeah, what do I have? Can you guys hear me? My network is very terrible.
8.02.
Okay, so You said 8 point what?
03.
8.03. So last year, what do I have?
2.42.
2.42.
2.42. So that is how you would have done your tax. This is just how you would have done your tax. So please, do you have any question regarding this one that I just did? I'm expecting a very smart question here. If you people don't ask me, I'll leave it though. People don't want to ask me.
Yeah,
But if you don't want
digest.
to, you're digesting. But let me bring it to you since nobody, so I will not assume. The question I'm expecting you guys to ask is, when we do our normal MPV question, when we get to that part of our normal MPV, okay, maybe somebody raising up your hand, maybe that's the question the person wants to ask. Emmanuel Tom, you are close, reasonable. He said that, why is there no tax savings on capital allowance? Which is a little bit, because I don't know if you guys remember now, whenever we are doing our normal MPV, we always even show capital allowance. We always show capital allowance in our MPV. But in this question, when we do international appraisal, we don't show it. And for this particular question, there is no even, we cannot particularly say there is no tax savings on capital allowance, but per se, but we explain something in that regard. But what I'm saying is, when we do our MPV normally, we always show capital allowance in our plain book now. But in this NPV question, in this international appraisal, we don't show it in our book. Even the next question I will solve, it will not be shown in our plain book. And why is that? There is no particular reason. Now, do you know that we said that when we're doing our MPV, we said that the only things that should be shown should be a movement of cash. Abi, should be only things that are movement of cash. But do you know that capital allowance is not particularly movement of cash? Do you know or you do not know? If you don't know, go and know today. When we call it an inflow, is FRS tax office, are they paying you money? You are not paying money. No money is entering your account for capital allowance. Nobody is sending you shishi. Money is not entering your account for anything. But you are just showing it there because you can assume that MPV, because you can say MPV takes account for capital allowance. It allows you to show it, but international investment appraisal particularly doesn't. But you should account for it because you just should account for your capital allowance, but you should account for it when you are trying to determine your taxable profit. But let me show you guys something. Let me explain something. Let me show. So for Mr. Mane that said that, why are we not doing tax savings? Let me practicalize something for you. Let me show you something. What's our capital allowance? Let me use this here. Let me use this year 3 as an example. What's our capital allowance? You are not answering me.
27.
Please, my
27.
network is very bad. So when I ask questions and you guys don't answer, it turns my head that maybe my network has gone. So please, 27. So what's our tax rate? 0.2. What would this give me?
Five point four.
This would give me what?
5.4.
5.4.
5.4. 5.4 now is a capital allowance now, so it's an inflow now. Abi? Yeah, let's now do which is our tax, which is our Mr. Emmanuel, which is our tax savings on capital allowance now, Abi. So 5.4. So this one is now, let's now say what's our last year tax? Let's say I think this is 39. 39.
0.12.
What's the 20% on this 39.12?
7.8.
Is what 7.8?
7.82.
7.82. So this is what outflow now. Abi, this one is normal tax now. This one is tax savings on capital allowance. Yeah, subtract the 7.82 points. This 5.4. What would I have? I should have this 2.42.
Yes, 2.42.
So it's not as if it's not particularly being taken account for. The account is still there. It's still being taken account for, but like we're not just using it expressly the way we used to use it expressly in our investment appraisal. That is just the only difference of what it is. And this is particularly like this because of a whole residual value and a whole lot of things. Also, the next question I will solve is another method you can take care of taxation in this investment appraisal. So this is what you guys should have done in the taxation. So after taxation, you continue, then you do your what? You do your exchange rate conversion. Then when you now get to the other country, your management fees becomes an income. After it becomes an income, you tax it. Then you also tax your residual value. But be very careful in some of those taxations because some of those currencies are in the other countries' currencies. So you need to do that thing I told you now. So you need to do conversion. So let's say you're trying to convert, let's say you're trying to tax, because you tax your residual value too. If somebody's unmuted and you're disturbing my class, please. You tax your residual value. You told you that your residual value should be taxed by 20%, but your residual value is in Fahrenheit currency. So you tax it in euros, in pounds, sorry. So you do your conversion, you use that year. Residual value is always in the last year now. So you use the exchange rate of that last year to convert. So you say, since it's 20%, so you say 20% times this thing times 10% divided. It depends if you are dividing or multiply by the exchange rate. I don't know. But since you are converting to pounds, and pounds is a base currency, so I think you divide. So you will now say 20% multiplied by 10 million divided by year 3 exchange rate. That is you converting residual value. So you convert your residual value, that's you taxing it. And I think that, and your management fees, which is an income, you also tax it. So I think that is all the challenges I noticed with some of the solutions I saw, the people that submitted to me. I think those are some of the mistakes I made. So I will implore everybody to attempt again and send. I will solve a question today. That was our agreement in the last class. I said I will solve question 1, you do question 2 as an assignment, I attempt question 3, and you solve question 4 as an assignment. So that's how you guys know the deal. So that is how we will do it. So it automatically means you have 2 assignments like that. You have to, people that not do the first time, this is a chance for you to reattempt it. So you do number 2 and you do number 4 and you submit to me. Please, are we fine? Are we together? Can I continue? Do I have any question? Yeah, I've already used 1 hour again. Tokere Ishele. I'm very sorry if I pronounced it badly. Oh, your hand is down. Okay, please, do I have any question? Mr. Azeta,
yes, sir, my hand is down. I wanted to ask which question we're solving. Somebody already answered in the in-call messages. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Azeta, are you there? Okay, I don't think he is here. Is he raising up his hand? Oh, no. Okay, any question? Okay, Miss Umadi, please ask me your question, please. Ask me a question.
Please, sorry for drawing you back. Please, how do you get this capital allowance? I saw you when you were doing a cost minus scrap value divided by number of years, but I didn't know actually what you did to get this 27.0.
What I did was 81 divided by 3. I told you to ignore the residual value because it was stated in the question that it would be taxed. Since it would be taxed already and we'll take account for it, we don't need to take account for it in our capital allowance again. That's why we didn't use the residual value. So we just use the cost, which is 81 divided by 3, the number of years.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Ahmed, you and this your DP. Yeah, ask me.
Okay, sir. So the counter currency is the same as home currency of the company.
Is counter currency the same thing as the home currency? Is that what you asked?
Yes, sir.
No, I will not say they are the same. It does not necessarily have to be the same. It depends on the position of the way they position the exchange rate. So it does not necessarily have to be the home currency, but in the question, the home currency will be stated now because you will know the home base. Where the country is based is the home currency. Miss Umiadi, please, your mic. Where the country is based is the home currency. So it would be stated in the question. But I don't want to say counter currency is the same thing as home currency because you guys know now the way counter currency is the currency that, base currency is the currency that carries one. So the other one that does not carry one now, maybe 1,000, 100, is the counter currency. It does not necessarily have to be the home currency. Sometimes it can even be the foreign currency. Are we together, Mr. Ahmed?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I would implore you to watch the video I explained counter and I think it was the last class. Please watch that video again. I think you will understand what I mean by counter currency and base currency.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Miss Amara, you want to ask me a question? Your mic is unmuted. Ebimi, that is what it's called in Yoruba. Ask me. Tukere Isheli, you want to ask me again?
Yes, sir. I want to ask you again. Sorry, I wasn't here when the class began. I already attempted the question, but I can see that what they did and what I did is opposite of each other. But what I want to know is what happens to the cash flow. Just that first heading, the profits before tax, how they got that. I just want to know that. I'll look at the video of the rest, but I just want to know that how they got the profit before tax, sir. Please, thank you.
I don't know how they got the profit. They just gave me question. They just gave me figure. I don't even know if it's correct. They just gave me figure. But I think it's most likely going to be. Let me check the question again. I don't know how they got it though. I just collected figure. So I think it's most likely going to be this their pre-tax cash flow subtracted the management fee. The subtract management fee. I think management fee is the only expense that is there. So most likely that is what they did. And this their management fee, obviously they converted it to no conversion, Abi. Yes, sorry, they converted this management fee, this $2 million of management fee, they converted it to this fair currency. So I think that was what they did. And just subtracted this pre-tax cash flow from the management fee. I think it should give you that pre-tax cash flow.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Miss Amara, ask me. I want to solve my question. Okay, I don't think you ask me. Mr. Ahmed, do you want to ask me anything?
No, sir.
Thank you. Miss Amara, your stuff is still blinking. I'm telling me something. Okay. Let's go to today's question then, and let's solve. Let's go to what I have for you today. So like I said, I'm going to delete this. So anybody that wants to snap for the last time should snap. Anybody that wants to write should write. No writing, please just snap. Anybody that wants to snap should snap. Now I think I started from here because I'm deleting this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even if you are using Tonosobe, you should have snapped it by now. Okay, this was today's date. Somebody should help my life.
7th.
Miss Mercy, are you still there? 7th of October. Miss Danjuma Mercy, are you there? She has run away. Yeah. So solution to question. I'm very happy to leave you guys. When it gets to this period of the diet, you just be very tired. Even people that are writing exams, people are tired of attending classes. Even we are tired of giving classes. Since when? Since June. I when they start? Maybe June. I don't tire. If Mr. one of your Wednesday classes lecturer are not coming, like, because after today I'm done with international investment appraisal, I'm just expecting your assignments. Then maybe I will correct this in the next class, and I will do introduction to option pricing. I think I'm done taking option pricing. And after option pricing should take maybe one class maximum. Then God forbid, I don't want to see people's face again. Come up, that's what we call it in Yoruba. Everybody should go their way. Agbẹjọ́rò PLC. Agbẹjọ́rò. I'm being very generous today. Let me read it by myself.
Be together after the exam.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, illustration 3, Agbẹjọ́rò PLC. I read. Agbẹjọ́rò PLC is a highly successful manufacturing company operating in Nigeria. In addition to sales within Nigeria, the company also exports to a foreign country with currency F dollars. Why is there F everywhere? Along the ECOWAS, I just copied these questions, honestly. I just copied because if I had known, I would have changed this currency, all this F rubbish. With currency F dollars along the ECOWAS sub-region, the export sales generate annual net cash inflow of 50 million naira. F dollar, naira. Okay, let's continue. Agbẹjọ́rò PLC is now considering whether to establish a factory in the foreign country and stop export from Nigeria to the country. The project is expected to cost $1 billion, including working capital for $200 million. Okay. A suitable existing factory has been located and production could commence immediately. A payment, this question has to be an ICANN question. I can't remember where I copied, but it has to be ICANN that said all these kind of questions. A payment of $950 million would be required immediately, with the remainder payable at the end of year one. Let me read that line again. It says a payment of $950. Please hold on with the question. It says a payment of $950 million would be required immediately, with the remainder payable at the end of year one. Okay, we are getting somewhere, and our cost is 1 billion. Out of the 1 billion, they are paying 950 million. Okay, our initial outlay is 1 billion, but they're not paying 950 million at year zero. Will be required immediately. Immediately means year zero, and the remaining balance of 50 million will be paid at the end of year one. Makes sense. At the end of year one, okay, makes sense. Okay, you know, I told you it's at the end of year one, it is year one. But if it has the beginning of Abi, yes, now if it has the beginning of year two, it should be what Abi. I don't know how I explained it. I don't forget though.
Yes, sir.
Hello, am I the only one that is not hearing you?
You're the only one, sir. But how would you hear what I said? Oh, but you're not hearing me, and I think you're the only one, sir. So I continue reading my question. I said, what did I say? Immediately with the remainder payable at the end of year one, the following additional information is available. Annual production and sales in units, 110,000 units. Unit selling price, $5,000. Unit variable cost, $2,000. Unit royalty payable to Agbẹjọ́rò PLC. The royalty is payable to Agbẹjọ́rò PLC. So that means it's an income to Agbẹjọ́rò PLC. Okay, good. Okay. Unit royalty payable to Agbẹjọ́rò PLC, 300 naira. This is how you see that the question is very funny. You've been coming from dollar to dollar. Then when it comes to royalty, you're giving me naira. What's your plan? What are you trying to do? But you will get there. They now say that incremental cash fixed cost $50 million. So it's only the royalty that is in naira. God will catch them. Let's continue. They now say they assume that the above cash item will remain constant throughout the expected life of the project of 4 years. Our years is 4 years. At the end of year 4, it is estimated that the net realizable value of the non-current assets would be 1.4 billion. So our scrap value is 1.4 billion. Okay. It is the policy of the company to remit the maximum funds possible to the parent, that is Agbejoro PLC, at the end of each year. Assume that there are no legal complications to prevent this. Full stop. Next line. If the new factory is set up and exports to the foreign country, if the new factory is set up and exports to the if the new factory is set up and export to the foreign country is stopped, it is expected that new export markets of a similar worth in North Africa could replace the existing exports. Next line. Production in Nigeria is at full capacity and there are no plans for further capacity expansion. Next line. Tax on the company's profit is at a rate of 40% in both countries. Finally, there is no additional tax. Payable 1 year in arrears. How many years our year? How many years our project?
4 years.
4 years. So now that we have tax in arrears,
4
means that we
years.
are going for 5 years. Okay. Let's continue.
5 years.
A double taxation agreement exists between Nigeria and the foreign country, and no double taxation is expected to arise. No withholding tax is levied on royalties payable from the foreign country to Nigeria. Let me read that again. No withholding tax is levied on royalties payable from the foreign country to Nigeria. They've even told you that that royalty that they are paying to the other country, there is no present tax on it. So when it gets there, better go and tax it. I say that no withholding tax is levied on royalties. So no withholding tax. So when it gets to that country, better go and tax it. Because now I told you that the sole purpose of transferring maybe management fees or royalties is to avoid tax on the two countries. But you being a finance director, you know that okay, this is from one country to another. This is still within the same company. So it definitely needs to be taxed in one country. So mostly it's usually taxed in the country that is receiving it, that is receiving it as an income or whatever. The country that is receiving it is usually the company that is being taxed. So it's not saying, next line, not saying tax allowable depreciation is at a rate of 25% on a straight line basis on all non-current assets. The directors of Agbejoro PLC believe that the appropriate risk-adjusted cost of capital of the project is 13%. Annual inflation rate in Nigeria and the foreign country are currently 5.6% and 10% respectively, meaning PPP, purchasing power parity theorem. Good. These rates are expected to remain constant in the foreseeable future. The current spot rate exchange is $1.6 to 1 naira. Dollar is what in this question? Down below.
The counter currency.
Dollar is the counter currency. Naira is the what? The base currency. Good. Oh, they've even told you that you may assume that the exchange rate reflects the purchasing power parity theorem. Required, number 1. Evaluate the proposed investment from the viewpoint of Agbejoro PLC. Note, show all workings and all calculations to the nearest million. Number 2, state all reasonable assumption. B, what's B? Sorry. State 2 further information and analysis that might be useful in the evaluation of this project. My mouth is already paining me. So you guys will go and solve. If you go and solve it, I should rest.
So you should have allowed us to read it.
Please, solve it for us, sir.
People don't used to answer me, and when I say you should read it, people will not answer me. So I've got it now. My mouth is paining me. You able to should go and solve it.
We are sorry, sir.
It's simple now.
Sorry,
It's a
sir.
simple question.
Oh, yeah, sorry, sir.
You said you're sorry. You not even put Oya in front. No one. Yeah, let me go and look for something to copy and paste first. You push hold on. Should I copy this one? Okay, let me copy it. Oh, but this underline. This underline. Okay, somebody wants to ask me something. Oh, yeah, ask me before I start. Ask me now or never. Ask me now or forever hold your peace. I know this is saying cut. Somebody's raising up their hand now. Ask me, was it a mistake?
Yes, sir, it's a mistake.
Oh, okay. So let's enjoy the question and solve together. Oh God, this person is stressing me. Oh. Okay, sorry, it's the chat box that is making noise. Sorry. Okay, let's continue. So year one, we have how many years? 5 years, Abi? Is it 5?
Yes. 4.
It's 4, but because of that areas,
Ah,
it will be 5
okay.
here.
So we have 5 years now. Okay. So sorry, I would remove this rubbish. I'll remove this rubbish years. When I hear that tom 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 tom, I don't know. Yes. So yeah, so that I can have enough space. So I'll just write 1, 2, blah blah blah. I have enough space to write. Okay. Oh yeah, let's go and calculate. So let's go and calculate our what now. So this question is kind of easy because if you read the question very well, I don't think they said anything about any of those things growing. Maybe sales, anything growing. I don't think there's anything there like that. Is there any? No. And our stuff is in dollar. We are starting with dollar now. FM dollar rubbish. Because that's what our cash flow is. Please be very careful. That is what your cash flow is. I'm seeing some students. You can't convert the first cash flow from the initial beginning. You will not be stressing yourself. No, please. Start from where your cash flow, the currency that your cash flow is. And in this question, all our cash flow, both our selling price, they are in this dollar. So that's what we will start with. Please, are we still together? Abi and Melu?
We are together.
Yes, sir.
We are together.
We're together, sir.
So apparently, let's go to our workings, please. So let's say workings. Oh yeah, what's our sales? And what's our selling price? Since they are all the same over the years now, there's no growth. If there was growth now, that would have been a different ball game. You guys know how to go all over all those things, but since we don't have growth in this question, you've made life easy for us. So you say annual sales. What's our selling price? So you can do it each way. You can do selling price, then okay, let me do it that way because I don't want to cause problem. So what's my selling price?
5,000. $5,000.
$5,000. So you can take 5,000. So what's our unit?
110,000.
110,000.
100 and what did I press again? But so you see 110,000 units. So then total sales now is what? Please, somebody should be helping us press calculator, please. ASAP. We don't have time. I'm very young. Total sales, oh yeah.
550 million.
550 million. So you can come here now. So you say sales. So your sales now, you come here. You say 550. Since it's the same thing across the board now, good question. No stress. 550. 550. Good. Let's go and do our variable cost. So you say variable cost. So you see variable cost. What are variable cost?
2,000.
2,000.
2,000.
I'm expecting somebody should have pressed it in calculator like that.
220 million.
220. Please, exam. Another very important thing is time. Any shortcut that you know that is reasonable that can save you time, please do it. But as long as you've shown workings and it's in your workings or it's somewhere that can always show that it's there, please do it. So this question now, I'm just doing it for the purpose of teaching. If I was in exam, I would definitely not go through all of this. I would just come here now I'll come into this place. I'll do my selling price. Since it's the same thing across the board, very fine. I'll do my selling price minus my variable cost. That would have given me 3,000. And 3,000 minus 110,000, I'll get my contribution. I'll go and put it there. I will not do sales or variable cost or any rubbish. I'll just go and show it in my workings. The only thing they will see there is contribution. They will not see all these things there. So that is just me being smart. Please, it's not. I know you want to show workings. It's good to show workings, but be very watchful of your time too. Show reasonable workings. The one that you know you can just show. You can just reference it in your workings and move on, please. What's my contribution about? 330, yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. What's next?
We have fixed costs.
Okay. Is incremental now?
What of royalty, sir?
What is what?
Royalty.
Yeah, we are still on it now. We are not done now. Let's first finish fixed cost. When we are done with all our costs, we can now take royalty. So how much was the fixed cost?
50.
50.
Yes.
I people sleeping. The weather is cold though. You people should not sleep. Even me, I'm in the cold. So let all of us be active. Oh yeah, somebody should give me my calculation, please. Let me be editing this time.
The profit will be 280.
Wait, don't even give me yet, Seth. Let me do my royalty so I can add everything together at once. Oh Lord, I'm active. Okay. Okay. So let's do royalty now. So like I told you, in which currency is the royalty paid? Let's go back to our question.
Naira.
So the royalty, like I said, is the one that is paid in Naira now. The royalty is payable in Naira. But what are we doing now? So when they said it's payable to Agbejeru and is in Naira, and what we are converting, like I said, it will be an expense to one currency, then it would be what? It would be an income to the other country. So like they said now, so it's operating in Nigeria. So obviously, and it's payable. So obviously, they are paying it in Naira. So to the company that is paying it, it is an expense, but it will be received in Naira, but it will be paid in whatever. We will be paid in dollar. Let me just use dollar. It will be paid in dollar. He said unit royalty payable to Agbejeru PLC 300 Naira payable. So what it means is, you know what payable means now. So what it means is to Agbejeru PLC. So it means is they will receive this particular royalty in Naira, but it will be paid in dollar. Yeah. So let me come here and say, okay, so let me come and do workings of royalty here. So you say, so before you do royalty, since it's Naira, we need to do exchange rates now. Let's first do exchange rates. Are you guys saying the way I'm doing it one by one? Easy peasy, no stress. It's you that will know what you are doing, you know. So since we already saw inflation, so automatically means we are supposed to use what? Purchasing power parity. I told somebody, I said, if I see exchange rate, I think I've told you guys too now. If I see exchange rates, if I see foreign currency, I would not be surprised at all, because it's been long they've tested it. And apart from that, ICANN has been moving towards or around exchange rates in recent years, because part of the issues we are going through in the country involves exchange rates. So they've been moving around it. Oh yeah, so this is the formula for our purchasing power. Let me ask you a question. Why am I using this formula?
Cost is entails inflation.
Purchase power for rate. There
Because
is inflation.
You want to get your forward rates.
they give us inflation in the question. Eshe.
And
Yeah. So what's my spot rate for year one? So let's see. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? That will not be too complex. Oh, let me see. Year one now equals to. Okay. It's now complex. So anyways. Okay. So our spot rate for year one.
1.6.
1.6. 1.600. 1 plus. What's our inflation of our counter currency? We are
Counter currency. Oh, where is the problem?
which one is the counter currency first? So that's the first question.
Dollar.
That would be the 1.6.
That was 1.6.
Dollar is the counter currency now. So what's the inflation
That's
for
the
dollar?
10%. The inflation rate is 10% for the counter currency, and for
Nigeria is
Nigeria it's
5.6 now. Dollar is
5.6%.
10%. See it here. Annual inflation in Nigeria is 5.6. Foreign currency 10%. So 1 plus 0.10 over 1 plus what? 0. It will be that
0.05.
Jesus. Oh yeah. What do I have? I expect you guys to have been calculating this thing. Please, let's make this class fast now. How about? What do I have? Oh,
1676. 1676.
that's 1.6. 1.6 waiting.
76.
Like this.
Yes. 0.19.
Please confirm. Is it correct?
Yes, correct.
1.676.
Yes, it's correct.
Confirm
But
something.
the
Sorry. There's a mistake now. This is 5.6, not 5.
it's 5.6.
That should be 0.056 like this. So
That
please
is
do that again. That's what.
1.6666.
Like
So
1667.
So this one is not going to be 1.667. Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry, sir. Please, the S0, is it the counter currency? What am I saying? The counter countries exchange rates, like the dollar.
This is the spot rate. Like the rate of that
Oh,
today. And that is the
okay.
1.6 now. What is it? This 1.6.
That is 1.60. It's not 1,600.
No,
No
this
vex.
1.6. Okay.
No vex. But we'll still give you the same answer now. Either 1,600 or 1.60. But no vex.
This answer 1.736.
Let me use 2 decimal like you've been claiming for.
1.74.
It's still the same thing, madam. I want to leave it at 3 decimal. That's why I'm adding this. But year 2 is what? Sorry. This is year 2, not year 3. 1.74.
1.74. Yes.
1.74. Give me
Are
3
we
decimal.
3 decimal? 736.
1.736. Yeah.
Correct. Year 3.
1 point
1.808.
Yeah. Yeah.
1.883.
Please be confirming this figure. I'm not checking it. I just they put anything that you people call for me. They will give us poison. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
1.961.
So now we've done our exchange it now. Let's go and do our way out. Yeah. So the royalty now is what? Is in what? Is in units now. So you can say let's determine our total royalty first. Because you need to know, don't use 300 naira straight up because they told you now, it's in the question. They said it is unit royalty paid. Unit, that is per unit. That's not the total, it's per unit. So let's first go and determine. So you say year one equals to, I think that is how much? 300 multiplied by, I think that's 110,000 units. How much is that?
That is 33 million.
33 million.
So apparently, all of them they are the same thing now over the years. So let me just use the same thing. So what it means is this is 33 million, but let me do the conversion from here now. Let me convert it. This 3 million naira. But let me now convert it now to Fahrenheit. So I'm trying to convert to dollar now. Am I dividing or I'm multiplying? Am I converting to base currency? Or I'm
To
converting?
divide.
Madam, look at it very well. Don't just
multiply.
No,
Because
you're going to converting to counter. You multiply.
don't just pick these things from your head. Just go and look at it. The counter currency is this dollar, base currency is
Sorry,
this.
sir.
So we are converting to our counter currency. When you are converting to your counter currency, you multiply.
Multiplier.
Sure. Ekufe. So multiply by what? What was my first year one? 1.667. 1.667. Then I'm gonna copy this and paste in all. I don't have strength. I'm expecting somebody to be giving me an answer for this one like that. What was my exchange rate for year two? 1.7.
5 million. Eh?
Call your figure.
1.73.
Call your figure. Call your figure. Somebody should start from year three. Somebody should start from year four. Just be watching me.
Year one.
Year one.
Yeah, 55
Year
million.
one, 50.
11,000.
Year two.
No,
Yeah,
five.
57
No,
million.
57 million.
288,000.
57,288,000. Like this, Abby.
Yes.
Yeah, year three.
62,139,000.
62,139,000. Is that year three, Abby, year four?
Yeah, 3.
Year three.
64
Year three
million.
cannot be 62 now. This is 55. This is 57. How will year three now shoot to year to 62?
62.
No, 62 is for year 4.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Year three should be like 59 too now. This difference has been 2 million. So it should still be 2 million all around.
But when I tried for the third year, it gave me 62,139.
Yeah.
Try it again,
The
madam.
year 4 is 64 million.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I think it's my fault. Sorry. It's my fault. Sorry. Is this rate? 1.7.
62, 139.
Hold on. This one is 828. Sorry. This one is 831. I think I was on that picked the wrong stuff. 828, 883. Sorry. This one is what? 62 what?
That's
62
139.
139.
So this year 3 is what?
Year 3 is 59
59
64.
64.
6 waiting.
4.
Yeah. So let's go and do our realities now. So somebody should snap this figure. Anybody that's writing it down, I cannot be coming up and down. Or somebody should cram it. People that know how to cram. This is your time to shine. And give me my figure. Oh yeah, year 1.
55 million.
55. Year 2.
57 million.
57 million. Year 3.
So year 1 can just make it 55 million point zero
I don't
one one.
want. Please, we'll be very careful with the question. They said nearest million, so no point.
Year 3 60 million.
And most icon question these days, they are telling you to round it up to the nearest thousand or nearest billion. So please, the first point of failure is you putting points. They say nearest thousand, just be rounding up a whole figure. Oh yeah.
62.
So like I said, it's an expense now. So it'll be an expense in this amount. Has Mr. Tobe finished portfolio theory?
Sir. No, sir.
Yes.
And then another part that is yet to do.
There's another part that is yet to finish. Okay.
Yeah, but he sends the note that we would have the class for it.
On portfolio theory, apart from portfolio theory, does not have any part with you guys again now.
None that we know of.
I think it's only business valuation that Mr. Idris he has not completed.
Yes.
No, it's not easy. Oh yeah, what's my profit? With the one you people know, safe gone, you can go and write your exam and pass. But I would really love Mr. Idris to study that business valuation, the M&A, I beg. It's very important. Very, very important.
Theory part, right?
What do you mean theory part? Has he not done the calculation part?
Okay.
I don't think he has. I just need to complete it. Everything, both theory and both calculation. Money is very important. Okay? Don't go to exam if you don't know money. If you don't know money, just don't go. Yeah, okay, the profit. What's my profit?
225.
225 for your one. I'm not even doing years early. Yeah.
Yeah, 223. Yeah, 220.
That question has
Don't be 218.
start depreciation. Abi?
It should be 218, Abi.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's do tax liability. So this is where the work is. So the one you've been doing since morning, they are easy peasy. So this is where the major work is. So the first problem you have in this question is that, like I said, you don't usually show your capital allowance on the scale of your work when you're doing your international investment appraisal, but you will still need to what? You still need to account for it. Good. So let's go. So you come here, you say, first thing is you first do, like the first one we did, first determine your annual capital allowance. Because when you're writing an exam, Don't just get another capital allowance. So guys, be very professional. Say, you are professional now, you know these things. Say computation of capital allowance or determination of or calculation of. Just don't just do like me. I'm doing. You know, me, I don't have strength.
Sorry, sir, would they give me extra mark for that?
No, please.
Okay, but just professionalism.
And they can give you sometimes you can get 49 and they look, you say, let's give this person 1 mark. They look for where to add 1 mark, but they can just say, can you professionalism? And you've never scored 50 before. Anybody that scored 50 or 1 will understand. When I was doing my foundation business school, I got 50 on the dot. I passed 3 papers. I passed 4. I passed all my 4 papers. But business school, I got 50. I was just imagining. Imagine they just remove 1. So I have to stay another 5 months before I can move to skills. And the rest, I was having 60, 70, good scores. I had 50. In my skills audit, I had 50. Final audit, I had 51. That was when I decided I think auditing is not for me. I don't live on for people who get them. How would I get 50, 51? Ha. So if you've gotten all those scores, you appreciate 1, you appreciate 2 marks. Very well. Oh yeah, let's do capital allowance. What's the formula for capital allowance?
Cost minus scrap value over number of years. Residual value.
Yeah, they do like this. Residual value divided by number. Yeah, what's our cost in this question? Can it cost one in a question? What's our cost now? Why you go silent?
Also said 1 billion, including 200 million for.
1 billion is our scrap value. That is our cost. $1 billion minus what? Maybe we'll tell me 1.4 now.
Residual.
And 33
It's
million.
looking like it's 1.4.
It's looking like a 1.4. What do you mean it's looking like a 1.4? Let me ask this class a question first. Let me know something. I don't know. I'm asking. Is residual value the same thing as sales proceeds?
Yes.
Yes.
Is the
Yes.
same.
Let's
Of scrap value.
let's ask Google. Say is residual. I know the answer. I just want you people to know. Is residual value the same as sales proceeds? Don't start. Just say yes.
Google will not
AI.
tell you yes.
Do you understand? Just tell me yes or no. They tell me with no.
Google will not tell you yes.
After go and research on your own. Investopedia will help small.
AI will help.
Use AI. AI will help.
Or
AI is,
AI.
Okay.
yeah, it's a no.
Let me go and use ChatGPT.
Process is exactly the same.
Let me copy that in and paste. I don't have strength. I like to copy and paste in this life. I don't get strength.
So copy and paste.
Life. You said no, residual value and sales proceeds are
Say
not the
no,
same.
they are not the same.
But they are related in the context of asset sales or disposal. Good. Residual value, it refers to the estimated value of an asset at the end of its useful life. You should be here now, you are learning another thing apart from SFM, because people just say yes every time. It says it refers to the estimated value of an asset at the end of its useful life. Is the amount the company expects to receive when they eventually dispose of the asset. It can be sales proceeds after it has been fully used or depreciated. It is used to determine that you're okay. This refers to actual amount regardless of its book value or estimated residual value. Do you guys understand the differences? You are still reading it, you still don't understand.
No, I solving some questions. We used to use that sales proceed for scrap value.
Yes, I get it. But let me tell you something. The thing is, the difference between the residual value and the sales proceeds is the fact that the residual value now, before they can sell it, the asset needs to have been fully depreciated. Like it has been fully used, as finished is useful. Like the sales proceeds can be sold anytime. You can buy the asset today and sell it next year or sell it tomorrow. That is a sales proceed. The money you get from it is a sales proceed. But if you get an asset today and you finish using its useful life and you're able to sell it, that is what we call scrap or residual value. So if all of you that have individual center, so when you get to your center, when they ask you, you can go and form boss like you know it and be jam talking. You don't know that you just came to learn it here today. But yes, I get your worries that when we see some question, we always use sales proceed as our residual value. But the thing is, in those questions, that is what, how would we say it? That is in the context of that question. But in this particular question, our working capital is what we serve as our residual value. Our working capital is what we serve as our residual value. And our working capital is serving as our residual value because we are not going to take account of our working capital. I told the international investment appraisal is the same, but it's kind of different with our normal MPV. All those things that are not particularly movement of money, we don't really take account of it. It's not that money is coming, money is entering. Capital allowance, money is not particularly coming in. The working capital is not as if money is coming in. It's not as if extra money is entering your pocket. It's just increasing the money you are using to work. You started a business with 1,000. Next year, increase to 1,200. Next year, increase to 1,300. It is just the money you are using to work, the money you are using to run your business. And you guys know they compare. English has gone away. The thing that comprises of the working capital. So those are the things that increases. So when we are doing MPV, we only just take the differences because that is the movement in our normal MPV. But in this one, we don't really take account of working capital. So if you see working capital in the question, that is what serves as your residual value in international investment appraisal. I think it's the same thing with the other question, question 4, something like that. So this automatically, or this then changes to cost minus working capital divided by, what's the number of years? Let me just see number of years. So this automatically becomes $1 million minus, what's our working capital, please?
200 million.
200 million, okay, or 200,000. Okay, 200 million. This one is 1 billion. Please be very careful of this million and billion. Oh. Be very, very careful. Because you know you're rounding up to million, so you can. But let me. Oh God of mercy. Divided by how many years? I beg. 4 years.
4 years.
What's my capital? Yeah. What's my capital allowance, bro?
250.
200,000.
200
200
million.
million.
Good. So now let's not go and do our tax liability now. Since that, this is the same way we did that first one. First time with our capital allowance, then went to subtract it from our cash profit. The same way, the same thing we did. Please, be very, just be noting these things. The tax liability now. Okay, let's say yes. Let me do this one separately. Let me say year 1, year 2, year 3. Why is this space in this one so much like this? Let me add the space here. This one just gets wider. Okay. So you come here, you see your profit. What was our profit? In 225.
You have to go and copy and paste.
People don't remember. 225, 22. I know this is just the second
Last
year.
one is
223,
This one
220,
is
and 218.
good. Madam, is here eye contact? Abi, you have been with me.
I've been with you, sir.
Clap for yourself. So our capital allowance now. Those are our capital allowance. 200.
200.
200. It's straight line now, so it's 200 across the board. 200. 200. So we are lessening this. Well, what's my taxable profit, Brian?
25.
25, 23.
20.
Madam, please hold on. I'm not some sort of chat GPT. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 25.
23.
23.
2018.
23. 2018.
No. Yeah. 18. Yeah.
I understand what I'm saying. 2018. So tax liability, what's our tax?
40%.
So you say
40%.
tax. So you say taxation at 40%.
Yeah, true.
If you people don't press calculator, you'll be sleeping. Let me check people that are still. I'm sure most people have gone. It's because of sleep. It's not because of anything. Sorry, please, can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no. Yes, but we can't feel I can't feel the screen.
Sorry,
Screen
I
is
did
not seen.
find waiting no lost. I don't go press rubbish. Sorry. I wanted to cancel something that I went to. Is the class still recording? Because I think that's what happened in some of our classes. Maybe I log out and coming back. Okay, the class is still being recorded. Oh yeah. Mr. Ahmed, are you still with us? Have you slept?
I'm with you, sir.
Oh yeah, taxation at 40%.
8.
8K.
10.
10.
Oh.
This one you are doing saying, oh, exam is not even close.
9.28.
Please, I already told you people, when the exam is closed, don't drink Gary. I beg.
Sir, the tax is it not in arrears?
And when we get there now, we're gonna make it that one.
Okay.
This one is working now.
It's the one for 20 is 8.
Wait.
Hello, sir.
Go.
The taxable profit for year 4, is it not supposed to be -2?
Ma, how?
No.
No, it's positive.
How?
I thought
That
we were
was you.
taking 200 from 218. Oh, sorry.
Madam, with this Gary, please.
Tax year 4, 7.2.
Let's take more fruits this period. Apple, pineapple, so that I can increase our our immunity on our side. Oh yeah. So we've gotten our tax like this, Abby. Good. If you are sleeping, you are wrong. Somebody sent that into the group chat one day. I was just laughing. Yeah.
You just
The man was reading in the night. He said, if you are sleeping, you are wrong. I cannot be the only one doing this. Oh, life is hard. I can. Not too well negotiate. Oh yeah. So where were we? We were here.
yeah.
So year one will be charging year two will be charging year three. So our year one tax is what? 10, I mean?
10.
9, I mean?
Yes. 8 and 7.
8. Yeah, that's the PDF 5 and 7. Good. But new one that people have not learned before, you learning this night. So apparently, this question now, because you have a sales proceed, automatically indicates that you have a balancing charge. You didn't use that sales proceed in calculating your capital allowance now. So automatically means that you have something called balancing charge or balancing allowance. You guys know now, whatever it is there, you would have it. So now, on what situation do you have balancing charge, or what situation do you have balancing allowance? Let me know, my serious students, people that want to write exam.
For balancing allowance, that's when sales is higher than the scrap value.
The tax written down.
Yes, tax written down value is higher.
So when your sales proceed is higher than your tax written down value, is balancing allowance.
Allowance, yes.
No balancing charge. Balancing
That
charge.
is allowance.
No,
The same is more.
When tax written down value is more
Balancing
than
charge.
scrap value, that's allowance.
No.
Balancing charge.
When you sell more than the tax written down value, you have to balance.
No, I don't agree.
If says is less than tax written down value, have balancing allowance.
Balancing charge now because they have more gain.
Is allowance. You have more.
Go and check your notes again.
Balancing charge is when you have scrap values greater than the tax
Don't turn my class to Bodija market. People know that I'm a very nice person. I will help you. I will help you out of your misery. I think it's grammar that is disturbing everybody. So let me know people that know it and people that don't know it. Please hold on now. Hey, go to school and learn English, please. Let me first scatter the class first. Which one is balancing allowance? Which one is balancing charge?
First one.
Balancing charge.
Second one is
allowance.
Second one is now what?
Balancing allowance.
They are both balancing charge.
First of all, the first problem is they are even first the same thing. So that's allowance.
They are the same thing.
So wait first. The first problem is these two are first the same thing. So if it wants to be allowance, it has to be allowance, and if it wants to be charged, it has to be charged. So let me first.
They are both balancing charge.
Let me first take you out of your misery. Good. So this is so now that we agree that these two are the same thing, let me now go to the correct one that I'm supposed to say. So now let's now say our sales proceeds now is now this is greater than, is now less than our tax written down value. So this one is what?
Balancing allowance.
Is that what the whole class is saying?
Yes.
Yes.
sir.
If you're against this, let me know. If you're against this, let me know. If your sales proceed is less than your tax written down value, is it a balancing allowance or is it a balancing charge?
Balancing allowance.
Allowance.
If your
Balancing
sales
allowance.
proceed is greater than your tax written down value, is it a balancing charge or is it a balancing allowance?
Balancing.
Balancing charge.
We don't pass taxation.
Me?
Sorry, my network ran away. So you are saying the first one is what? The first one is charge, the second one is allowance.
Yes, sir.
The whole class.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is there anybody that wants to go against this? Go against it and win money. Nobody wants to win money. You are standing by it. Okay.
Yes.
Apparently, you guys are correct. So when you're balancing, when your sales proceed is greater than your tax written down value, it's a balancing charge. Don't allow English to confuse you. This thing can be the other way. Sales proceed greater than tax written down value is the same thing as tax written down value less than sales proceed. It's still the same thing. It's grammar. Sales proceed less than tax written down value is still the same thing as tax written down value greater than sales proceed. A boni is just English. The only thing you need to watch out for is this greater than and this less than, where it is facing. As that, I just understand the meaning of what they are doing. Whenever your sales proceed is greater than your tax written down value, it is a balancing charge. And whenever your sales proceed is less than your tax written down value, it is what? Your balancing allowance. So in this question, our sales proceed, is it greater than our tax written down value or is less than? What's our sales proceed in this question?
The 50 million.
The dinner, the 20 video. Better 350 million, bro. Madam, where is 50 million in this question first? Let me first even see where it's coming from.
1.04.
Let me first see where Madam is coming from. There's no 50 million in the
generate.
question at all. How much is our sales proceeds?
So there's 50 million there.
Where, please?
The exchange rate generates.
Exchange generates.
Okay.
Annual net cash flow of 50 million. How is this a sales proceed?
I said that is 50 million.
You are just showing me. You are not agreeing.
It's 1.4, sir.
It's 1.4 billion now. 1.40 billion. 1.4 billion. That's our sales post. What's our tax written down value? Yeah. Oh, the background. What's our tax written down value?
Please go to the capital allowance computation.
Thank you very much.
I will swear for my own. 25.
25.
That taxable, taxable profit.
Let me put you out of your misery. I don't have time. My time is already even up. My system is even low. 24%, 53 minutes. God have mercy. So apparently, we don't even have a tax written down value in this question. Because I don't know if you guys know how we used to do that tax written down value now when we do our reducing balance of 18. So you do your cost minus your, but like we've not been doing that here now. So if we are doing our cost minus this, we would have gotten a value. Do you understand? You know, if we do cost minus 200,000, we'll get tax written down value. We'll subtract cost from that thing, but that's not what we did here now. So apparently, we don't have a tax written down value. So which one is greater now? Sales proceeds or tax written down value?
Sales proceeds.
So what do we have?
Balancing
Balancing charge.
But mobile first balance allowance. I foresee just even should just go and sleep. So you now say that is balancing charge equals okay. I'll do what it is, but let me just write it again. Let me just copy and paste away. Okay, let me write this here. Okay, so that is what's our sales proceeds? Oh yeah, 1.4.
5 billion. 1.5
1.4. Let me just say minus $0. Let me just say like this. Yeah. So what's our tax rate? You charge it to tax now. What's our tax rate?
40%.
40%. So you now say your balancing charge therefore equals what? Oh yeah. 40% of 1,400. 560.
560.
So that's how you calculate balancing charge, and you only get this when you have your sales proceeds in the question. Please be very careful. Most of these things depends on the question. That other one we solved, there was no particular sales proceeds. What we had was residual value, and we just explained the difference between them. And that one that we had residual value, you would have used that residual value to calculate your capital allowance in the question. But because they told you, I'm talking about the first question I explained, but because they told you it was to be taxed, that's why we did not use it. So some questions they could have given you the residual value, and they would have told you that it is. They will not say anything about it being taxed. So please just go and use it to subtract your cost and divide it and move on with the question. Please, depends on the question. That I would encourage you to try as much as possible to lay your hands on as many questions as possible. I think there are only 2 questions on foreign investment appraiser in the Pathfinder, and this is one of them that I'm solving here. So I'm apparently solving a Pathfinder ICANN question. I don't know the year, so nobody don't ask me. I don't know which year it is. So you can check for the second one and attempt it. That's if the second one is not even an ICANN question self on its own. But oh yeah, let's move on. The second one is an ACCA question. Oh yeah. What am I supposed to do? Okay, yeah, balancing charge now. We're almost done. We're almost there. Don't let us give up. What's our balancing charge? So you say balancing charge. How much was it? 560. What year would I charge it?
560.
What year would I charge it? Later on, don't move. You are not telling me something. This thing has moved.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4.
for the last year. Yeah,
Last.
4.
Is this what I was solving? No,
sir.
now. People did not tell me. This is our workings now. I can't define net tax profit up and down.
Sorry, sir.
So this is the one we're solving. Okay. Yeah, each people say which year would I put it?
Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4 by
It's supposed to be 5 since it's in areas to follow the same thing.
You follow the same process as your tax. And your tax is in area. It was supposed to be in year 4, but it's in area, so you'll be in year 5. Do you understand?
Okay, yes, sir.
Cool. I don't tire. So what do we have again now? Working capital.
So why is it in bracket? I thought it's an inflow.
It's charge.
It's a charge. Now, if it was an allowance, it would not be in bracket. Do you understand? It's a charge. If it was an balancing allowance, it would not be in bracket, but because it's a balancing charge now, it would be here. Let me see scrap. Sales proceeds. Please, I would give you guys an assignment. Please watch out for. Go and check more treatment of sales proceeds and residual value, please. I just honestly really learned properly this night too. So please go and check the treatment properly if it is the same way, so that when you see one in the exam, you know what to do. What was it? 1-4 now?
Yes, sir.
People are making. So let's do our outlay slash. So what's our initial outlay? I'm not doing 0.
I wanted to ask.
You want to ask, but you're not asking me some money. Yeah, what's our initial outlay?
It's 1 billion.
1 billion.
So 1 billion, Abi. So I'm removing 1 billion naira from your 0, Abi.
Yes, sir. But there is a clause, sir.
There is waiting.
There's a clause.
Maybe you did that. Maybe you did that. I should remove it, and I want to help you to remove it so that you give us poison. What's the clause?
At 550.
Yeah, 0.
$150.
So they are saying we remove 950, yeah, 0, 50 to be paid where?
Yeah, 1.
So 50. Shoot it, Lobai. Minutes, has it gone? Like, are we okay? But what I'm doing outlay slash working capital. Anyhow you like, it should be. You can do working capital first or do outlay first. Anyone you like, do it anyway. When do we check our working capital? No, at the end.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah, 0.
You will first charge it. That's the one that has movement now. The one that is increasing, you first charge the main one at year 0, then recoup at the end. So the movement, but this one does not have any growth now, no movement of anything. It's just the same working capital from throughout everything. So there's no growth. So you don't need to put it at year 0. So you just recoup at the end of the year. Don't put it at year 0. Am I speaking Gamma? Abi is gibberish?
Yes, I understand.
What I'm saying is, let me explain again. I'm saying that the usual working capital that we used to check, we used to put the initial money at year 0, then we'll now do the movement, then recoup. So you now add the one at year 0 plus the movement, then you recoup everything at the end of the year. But I'm now telling you that for this particular one, since there is no growth, there is no movement, you don't need to impute it at year 0 since you are not recouping anything at the end of the year. So just carry the O2 and then go and put it at the end of the year. That's what I'm saying. I'm sure there are a lot of things you've learned this night. After, don't carry it immediately. Just go and shower first. Sleep. You can now wake up in the midnight. Now carry it again. Then try to do the assignment. That's the best. If you carry this night, you no go work. Because there's a lot of information you are trying to process. Oh yeah. So what's my remittable cash flow? Oh yeah. 0. 950. I know people tell me to go up now. So nobody has been writing since. Yeah, one. We are 330 minus, 225 minus 50. That should be 175, Abi. This one is, how would I know these things like this? People will go and calculate in your book. But this one is not good at all.
223.
So this one is 223 minus 10. That's 213 now.
213.
That's 213. This one is 220 minus 9. That's 211.
211.
Year 0, year 1, year 2. 211. Year 3 now. This one is 220 minus 9. That's 280.
211.
Ah.
I've done that one already.
Wait, year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3. So
year 3, so year 4.
This one should have space. I'm just using. So this 218 minus 8. That's 210. 210 plus 14. That's 1,610. Plus 200. That's 1,810. People have calculator, and I'm still using my head to do this thing. We're done on a round of applause for yourself.
Okay, you get it.
I know I get it. I get it. This one is minus 567. Yeah, exchange it. Now let me use this one so that this will have a rest, and use this one to copy and paste. Good. So, what's our year 1 exchange rate? Anybody that wrote it down should help our life.
0.625.
Sorry, for year 0.
1.6.
625. Wow.
1.6.
1.6.
year 1.
1.6 is for year 1. That's for year 0 now.
For year 0, 1.6 is spot rate. Year 1 is 1.667.
Okay.
Year 2, 1.736.
1.736.
Year 3, 1.808.
1.808. 1.808 last year.
Year 4, 1.883.
1.883. It's only 9 something.
Year 5, 1.961. 1.961.
Good. So what am I changing to now? I'm changing to Naira now.
Yes.
You see Naira. So am I dividing? I'm multiplying, please.
Yeah, dividing.
We're done.
Dividing.
Okay. We're done. I'm seeing dividing, multiplying. So people are just saying in. You're not saying dividing and multiplying. It's just in. Are we dividing or multiplying? In.
You're multiplying.
I'm multiplying, Abi. Thank you,
Yes.
sir. Why do you say so, sir? Why, sir?
Why dividing?
I am multiplying.
I've heard now. I've heard I'm multiplying. Why?
Because how do I even say it? Nigerian
Because
is
we are converting to the base currency.
Please
yes.
hold on.
Wait.
I'm with you.
You've been operating on a foreign currency for now. You have to convert to the local how do I say it, to the local currency. So you have to multiply it. If you want, if it's a subsidiary, if you are operating from okay.
I'll open it. Somebody was disturbing me. That's what I wanted to. I'm listening. You can see now.
See?
Maybe you can see my screen.
Yes, I'm not asking of your screen, sir.
Oh, okay. You're trying to explain something to me, and I'm trying to understand.
Yes. What I was trying to say is that the currency of the home currency. The home currency, which is the home currency, which is the Nigerian currency. You are trying to, if you are converting, I don't miss out. but I know it's you have to multiply it, but I can't explain it, sir.
But you just say you don't miss some now. How are you not saying you are sure?
Yes, sir. I've even prior before now, I've attempted something like this from what's it called? Adeomoleiwa.
Molewa.
Yes, I did something like that, but
That means what you did was wrong now, Abby. That's not the meaning.
uh,
That's what it means, oh, my dear brother.
it's okay.
Abby, is it correct? Abby, am I the one that is wrong? Maybe I never chop.
It's to divide.
So you divide
Convert.
since you're converting to bees.
Maybe it's me that is wrong. Oh. So,
Then you also
I also waiting.
like if we use the cross multiplication method, you also taught us to.
They will still
So
give you
also
the vision.
divide. Yes.
So, sir, please let me explain something to you. I always say this, and I said this in my first class. I said that in my own class, you always unlearn to learn. Because I know most of us have read a lot of books. I'm not saying those books are wrong. Believe me, they are my forefathers. Mr. They are not my father. Oh. They are my forefathers, my grandfathers. If I see them, I don't. You know, when you see your professional colleague, they're not my professional. You want to do handshake. If I see somebody's unmuted and is disturbing me. If I see all those ones, I used to prostrate. I would like Sheikh Mr. Molenwa, Mr. Adejuwon, Mr. Ibrahim. Those ones are my bosses. They are my organs in this top. So I'm not saying what they wrote is wrong. Definitely not wrong. But my problem with students is you people just see a particular solution and you stereotype your mind that this is what is happening. So any question you see, you always just attempt it with that your stereotyped mind. And at the end of the day, you are always wrong. I told you SFM is different from everything you've been doing. When you do your standard costing, you know when to do variance, when to do variance, when to do adverse, and when to do what's the other one? Adverse and advance and waiting. Which remind me now.
Favorable.
People know that okay, when this one is better than this one is hard, so you can stereotype your mind to something like that. But I'm telling you, when it comes to SFM, things to stereotype your mind is very limited. So I always like it to be very opened. This question we solve now, who would have imagined the way we treated taxation? Is that the way we've been treating it? The way we subtracted working capital from our stuff, is that the way we've been treating it? So like, I don't want you to be limited to a particular way. That's why the only base, please now, somebody's unmuted. So the best way to pass SFM is understand the basics, know what you are. That's why, I don't know if you guys have noticed, if you give me an answer, I always ask you why. It's not because your answer is not, but I want you to know the reason why you are giving me that answer. It's not because you just picked it. You just say, okay, it's in the question I just gave you. Know the reason. So if you are saying something, know why you are. So if you see something like that in another question, in another different way, you always know how to go about it. That's my own method of teaching. So you always know how to go about it. So, sir, your explanation of home currency and foreign currency is where you totally got it wrong. Because it's not particular about the home currency or the foreign currency. What it is particular about is the way the exchange rate is arranged.
Okay.
The way the exchange rate is arranged. So I would want you to try this method I'm going to teach you now on those questions that you've attempted before and now see the difference. I hope you just do it correctly. It's not as if that you're going to miss it somewhere else. But this method, just try it the same way on the exchange rate and see if you get the same. So what I'm telling you is, I already explained this thing before. It's not particular about where the home currency is or where the foreign or which one is home currency. I already explained to you what a counter currency. That's the easiest way. I used a direct quote and indirect quote also the last time. But the thing is, most students, a direct and indirect quote is somehow a little bit confusing. But base currency and counter currency is the easiest way to understand exchange rate. Easiest way. So what I'm saying is, anyone that carries 1 naira, that one is at the back, like any currency that carries one like this at the back is a base currency. And the other one is the counter currency. I'll repeat. I said anyone that carries one like this at the back, 1 naira, $1 can be any currency, but anyone that one like this is at the back, believe me, there will always be one at the back of anyone. because you're trying to
Yes.
tell you that okay, this is the amount that you need to get one of that other currency. So
Yes,
anyone
sir.
that won is at the back is the base currency, then the other is the counter currency. We are now saying that whenever you are trying to convert into, if you are changing into, maybe you are converting from counter into base, whatever currency you are converting into. So if you are converting into base currency, you divide. Whenever you are trying to convert into a base currency, you will divide. And if you are converting into a counter currency, you will multiply. So please write it down, write it in capital letter, put it in your left hand. If you are converting to a counter currency, you will multiply. And if you are converting into a base currency, you will divide. So now, in this question, which one is our counter? Which one is our base, sir? Mr. Osman.
See?
Which one is our counter currency? Which one is our base currency based on what I just explained?
The base.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Sorry.
So which one is our
I'm good.
counter? Which one is our base, sir? Which what I just explained?
Our base currency, our base currency is I think I didn't notice very well.
I said that your base currency is the one that has one at the back. Anyone that
Yes.
has one is your base.
Yes.
The other one is your counter. Now I'm asking in this example now, which one is the base currency?
Now the base currency is
Naira.
is 0.6 1.63.
No.
1.63 where?
You didn't get 3.
No.
Okay, so this is what I want you to do. Yeah, I feel like the problem is you are so used to the home and foreign that it's not easy to unlearn it now. So that thing I just told you now, write it down, then go back, check a lot of exchange rate and try to understand what you are supposed to do. What I said is write it down that a base currency is equals to currency with one at the back. Write it like that. Base currency equals to currency that has one at the back. Counter currency is the other one, like the other currency, the one that does not have one at the back.
Okay, sir.
When I say one, because this one is one, does not mean one at the back. This one is 1.60, does not mean one. I mean like 1 naira, that you need the other currency to get 1 naira of that one. Good. So I'm not saying that whenever you are converting into a base currency, you will divide.
Okay.
And when you are converting into a counter currency, you will multiply.
Okay.
Thank you. So just use the analogy. Then a lot of exchange. The questions we've solved before the assignment. Just use the analogy on it, and I'm sure you understand what we are doing.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Oh, yeah.
Also, if the country where the company is located is in Nigeria, you will know that is the base currency. If it's in UK, that would be the base currency.
If that is, I don't know. I don't want you guys to get the home currency because the question can be twisted anyway, in such a way that I don't know what they can be done, but the exchange rate will always be given to you, and that one cannot be switched. It will not be switched in any way. So that's the easiest way to not mix it up. That's why I'm not even trying to say anything about home or foreign currency. It's easier to learn, but when you teach a group of people, you just look for the best way to place it so that they don't get it mixed up. So the best way to get it placed is the way I've placed it, without talking about the home or foreign currency at all. Conversion, please, we are dividing. We are converting into our base currency, so we are dividing. We are about me divided. Time has gone. Laptop is 13%. So I don't know if you carry with someone though. Yeah. Divide this thing for me. Let me go inside and one touch.
594. Yeah, 0.
109.
Please write for all the years. I'm coming. Let me plug my system. I check YouTube every now and then. I'm always saying that my class is the longest, and I don't always know why. I don't know what I'm talking about. Please, 1 minute. Let me plug my phone.
Year one.
Oh. Yeah, talk to me. My answers, please.
594.
594.
105.
Which one is 594? Year zero, Abby?
Zero.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
zero, yes.
594. Year one?
105. Year one.
Year two?
122.
123.
123.
Year three?
117.
Year four?
961.
Last year?
289.
289.
Bracket, Abby?
Yes.
So what do we do now? So these are our cash limited in Naira now. So let's do our royalties. So those royalties now, they give us in Naira now, Abby.
Yes, sir.
So we don't need any
Yes,
conversion. How much was it? I think we did the
Plus
calculation.
330 million.
33 million.
33
30.
million.
So apparently I'm just saying 33. 33. It's not 33 export though. Because I know some of you, that's what's coming to your mind. 33. And lastly, what? 33. So what else? Somebody has been following me since morning. What else would I do?
Okay, then tax or royalties.
Tax and
Thank you very
royalties.
much. You have been following me. You tax these royalties now. Because it's an income to this person, so you need to tax it here. So since there is no additional tax whatever, so 40% of 33, that's simply what we're just doing. So that's what?
13.2. 13.
13 million. But don't forget, tax of year one will be charged in year two. So 13. 13. Yeah. 13. Lastly, 13. Yeah. So let's do our net cash flows now. So net cash flow. We don't have additional tax. We don't have I think these are the only things that come here. So that was all. International investment appraisal is actually quite simple. Oh yeah. 594.
138.
Second year one, Abby.
Yes, sir.
Please add the years you are calling for me. Year two.
Year two, 143.
143.
You wrote 584. 594. Yeah, 0.
137.
I'll adjust it. Oh yeah.
981.
How much you?
276.
981.
302.
302.
302.
276. 6.
Inside the first year zero, you want to adjust.
ID 7. So our discount factor at what? 13%. So 13%. Sorry, my year zero is what? 1.000. 13%. Year one is supposed to be 0.885.
Which is 5.
With 0.783.
783.
Confirm if I'm correct to now I contact to 0.93. Therefore 0.613.
Yes.
And last year
543.
Sorry. 543. I use 13% and 10% a lot, so and 15% in my classes. So I don't really use to.
That is the Agba.
That 10%, almost everybody uses 10%.
Like that one stick.
Easy. So what's my present value by? Okay, it's still the same thing. So what's my present value? So this one is what? 594. For year one, go 138 multiplied by 0.885.
122.
122. For year two.
112.
112.
What's supposed to be doing year 5? Somebody should be doing year 4, but I don't let us all stick to the same place.
Yeah. The next one, 95. 0.6.
601.
601 and then
164.
164.
So my next present value now.
172.
Negative or positive?
Positive.
Positive, yes, 172.
It's financially viable because it gave a positive. Can we at least finish our class before you start listening to Yashake? Because it gives in a positive MPV of voting of 172 million S. The project should be rejected.
Rejected.
What do you?
It's positive.
It's positive
now. How can it be rejected?
Cannot reject.
So what are you? So we should accept a positive MPV. How now? Who taught you that one?
I accept a positive entry.
I don't hear. Somebody cannot even please more, please. Anything you know like this, your head, that's when your head will be strong. Your veins will not be moving because you know it. The one I've been saying more that you don't know, you kept quiet. Which the one we will not know, no. So go and write your assumptions and do the number B. The number B, put it on Google. God will help you. That will not more than 5 marks. Your assumption that your cash flow they are reliable. You assume anything you assume, just say it, even though you did not assume. It's said that your cost of capital. See, the first whenever you are doing MPV, the assumptions, the three places that your assumption should be based on, easy ones that they don't change, so that you will not be cracking your head in exam hall. So first one, that the three ones that they don't change, your cost of capital, because in all MPV questions you'll be giving cost of capital. So you always assume that the cost of capital is consistent with the project risk. That you assume that the risk adjusted cost of capital of 13% is consistent with the project risk. Inflation rate, that all those selling prices were increasing our variable cost. So you assume that the inflation rate between the two countries, that they will remain constant within the years under consideration. So that's inflation. That inflation rate will remain constant, either MPV or this one, anyone, as long as there's inflation rate, that something is increasing. So you assume that it's going to remain constant. Another one is cash flow. This one also does not change. So you always assume that cash flow are reliable and they will all occur at the end of every year. So you assume that. So cash flow is a constant, because you have cash flow in your question. So you can say is a constant assumption. Cash flow, inflation rate, and discount factor. So if you've written 3, the remaining 2, the Lord is your strength. So the number B, you go and put it on Google and get your answer and write it down. Please, this is a live ICANN question. So please practice and practice and practice and practice. The second one is an ACC question. So, but this one is an ICANN question. So practice and practice and practice and practice it and understand it very well. So please attempt the number 2 question. And what's the name of the company? Ateno. So please attempt this Ateno PLC question and send to me. And that number B question also, or number B question, please redo based on the explanation I made earlier in the beginning of the class. Redo and send and we'll correct. So if a lot of people do this Ateno question and I see a lot, maybe that's where I will start from and correct in our next class. And I also do introduction to, I'm done with international investment appraisal. And I would also do introduction to option pricing, introduction, then maybe one more class. So apparently I have 2 more classes with you. One more to do introduction and one more to solve questions on it. So apparently 2 more classes and I am done with you. Please, based on what I solved, is there any question?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, Ebimi.
And I found something new under this question.
There's only something new under the question, but the
reason why working capital was deducted from the cost of the asset.
What was the reason?
So I want to know the reason.
The reason why it was deducted?
Yes, sir.
I explained now. I said, what did I even say the reason was? Your working capital, in the question now, we don't have a scrap or a residual value that could have been deducted from it. And working capital in that particular context can serve as a residual value, practically, because working capital is not like a particular cash flow. And this particular working capital, let me show you something in the question. See something here. The project is expected to cost 1 billion, including 200 million for working capital. So automatically means that the 200 million is inside this 1 billion. So what it means is, because before, if you want to get, please, listen to me. Let me explain something. If you are here, please, would have gone, they watch the video. But if you are still here, if this working capital was not included in this cost of the assets, it would not be subtracted from it too. Thank you for asking that question. If you see some other question that they just put working capital separately on his own, please and please just go and do it the way we did it here. By just, I've removed this thing. What I'm saying is, if it was not, if they did not say it was included in that thing, just, I still treated working capital here. I still added it here.
Yes.
Are we together? I'm speaking gibberish.
We are together, sir.
So this 200, I still added this working capital here. So if that thing was not saying it was included, just come and treat it like this. Don't subtract it from cost of the assets. This what I did here is still the same thing of what we used to do. You could have done this separately, I explained. You could do this separately of saying outlay alone. Then you come down and say working capital. So you will enjoy me with question. But I don't know if you understand my own question. This one, I'm just trying to use this one to avoid subsequent question because I know people will still ask me. But that question, that was because it was said that it was inclusive in the cost, and mostly because working capital, particularly per se, is not like movement of cash, and at that particular context, it could serve as a value. Show yeah, because yeah. Is it 20? At least 200.
200.
Show loba eh? No, the rest no, they're not underlined. Oh yeah, another question. Be me.
Hello, please, sir.
Ask me.
Also, the recorded version, the YouTube.
What happened to it, madam?
I didn't see it, sir.
Recorded version of what?
Sir?
Recorded version of what?
I mean the YouTube.
Of this class?
Yes, sir.
Never finished now.
Because my network was not. It was not.
Oh,
good.
I didn't share the YouTube link. We always use it. If your network cannot go for Google Meet, is it now YouTube will go for? We always use YouTube link if this class is full. But apparently, since the class was not full, I didn't see any need to use the Google link.
Okay, sir.
But immediately after the class, the video would automatically be uploaded on YouTube.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Oh yeah, Ebimi, I'm trying to save this thing so that I can send it to you guys before I forget. Oh yeah.
My only question, Mr. Tope. Thank you very much. Mr.
Well done.
Thank you. Really appreciate for
Thank you.
for the explanations and opening my head to SFM.
My name is Olanshile, by the way.
Sorry, I have a question before you go.
Ask me.
My question is that, sir, does this icon mark steps?
Yes, they do.
Okay, thank you.
That's what they even mark the most safe. It's not, they don't mark final answer. Okay, not like you don't mark final answer, but like that is not what we are looking for. Do you understand what you are doing? Is what you are doing, is it reasonable? Does it make sense to you, F? So they just look at it and there's already a I've done rubbish in this thing I'm trying to save. Oh, okay, that's come back. So I'm saying that they look at what you have done, and although they have a marking guide, but at the end of the day, human kinesis comes in. They just, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. Step by step, your workings, your neatness, professionalism, and the way your work is arranged, you understand the basics. Somebody would have told you before that this particular level you are in, this is the final level. That's why that one is called skill, because they believe you've learned a skill in your skill level, so come and apply those skills in this place. That is what professional is all about. So display, how you can display, how you can show that, okay, I know what I'm talking about. Do you know that somebody can write absolute jargons? I'm not talking about SFM, general. Somebody can write absolute jargons of about 2 pages, but he would not like he's writing jargons, but like he can butcher something that is not for you in 2 pages. Somebody can sell something that does not exist, something that just butchers a point for you that makes you see it in reality, that it makes you feel like the person knows what he said, and the person has absolute zero knowledge of what he's talking about. But the way he can just put his point together, the way he can butcher, the way he shows you that, okay, I understand what I'm doing. There's a way some people will display SFM for you, that you feel like, this person has to be a guru and does not have anything on his head. So my point is, just look for a way to. That's why I always expect you guys to know the basics. Because if you know the basics, you can easily attack any question and display. Don't just leave a question, display. If you see international appraiser now, you don't know where to start from. You don't know. But if this one, you've known base currency, you've known foreign currency, you know how to get your pre-tax cash flow. Start from there. Then along the line, if you get stuck, for a way to find yourself around it, that is just the way it works. Nobody is all the people that passed SFM, none of us was a guru. Believe me, it was after that we now sat down with it that was now making sense. During the exam, nothing was making sense, believe me. It was not making sense until after that you now sat down with it and it now made sense. So that's the point. I'm going to send the working note because if I should leave this class,
Excuse me, sir.
Oh dear, man.
Excuse me, sir.
Ask me.
Hello?
Ask me, madam, I'm with you.
Sir, I'm having a confusion. See, when we are giving this question, how do we know the exchange rate to convert it to? Because
how do you know they want to convert it to?
Is it to convert to dollar or UK or whatever or naira? Like in this one now, can see cash flow in naira. Something like that. You can still see cash flow in UK or dollar. I'm a bit confused.
Depending on the question, this question I was telling us that okay, there's one currency, the currency is Fahrenheit, then they also in Nigeria. And I told you that the best way to start from, always start from the cash flow, start from the cash flow's currency. So that after the cash flow, then you convert to the other currency in the question. This question, now, if you check the exchange rates now, they already told you $1.6 to 1 naira. So automatically, you know that there's one company in US or UK anywhere, that there's another one in Nigeria because of the naira. So, and I said that start from the one of the cash flow, and the one of the cash flow is this every dollar. So automatically means that since you are starting from here, later in the future you convert to naira. Sorry, you convert to naira. Since you are starting with this dollar, you convert to naira. So it just depends on the question. This last question now, this assignment question, I think the exchange rate is what? Is US dollar to £1. So automatically you know that is US and maybe UK that they have. Yeah. So you check the cash flows, the one that the cash flow is in. The cash flow is in dollar. So automatically you know that you start from dollar, then you later convert to what? To pound sterling.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Oh yeah, be me. Ask. This is because I'm ending the topic, so I'm taking lots of questions like this. So ask me now or forever hold your peace. Miss Blessing, ask me.
So you made mention of pre-tax cash flow in your first solution. I didn't get because I didn't meet you people on time. I came late.
So what didn't you get there?
You are talking about pre-tax cash flow. I don't understand.
Understand what? You cannot say you don't understand. Understand what don't you understand? Understand what pre-tax cash flow means?
What do you mean by that pre-tax cash flow?
Pre-tax cash flow means a cash flow that has not been taxed.
Okay.
That's what you don't understand. I'm just it's more than that. Please watch the video where I explain and how we got it.
Okay, sir.
I think that was the first thing. Just watch the beginning part of the video because I think I explained it immediately I got to class. So watch the beginning part of the video. You don't want to waste data, or you don't want to watch. You don't want to hear my voice. My voice might be boring you already. Yeah. I don't tire. Yeah. Any question, please? Any more question? Any observation? Any conclusion? On this note, please, I am done with international investment appraisal. Thank you very much for being with me throughout the journey. By the grace of God, next class I should be introducing option pricing theory. So please, you can go and read it, read the back, check anywhere, and so that you can come with questions, so that you can have a basic understanding. So people that used to say I don't used to let you know the topic. We are doing option pricing theory next class. So we'll be doing call option, put option, option to buy, option to sell, option to plenty option. So we'll sit all of them in our next class. And the assignment, if a lot of people submit, I would also explain it in the next class. Please attempt it too, please, so that I can know where your head is, if you guys understand what I've been saying in class. On that note, thank you guys very much for listening to me, and I will see you in our next class.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank
So
you.
the assignment is number 2 and 4, ba?
Yes, madam. No, it's number 2. Yes, number 2 and 4, yes.
Thank you very much.